Hey you guys, Martha Krejci here. So let's talk about what is going to make 2020 different this year. First of all, if this is your first video that you have ever watched, make sure that you subscribe and then also hit the bell for notifications, okay? So the thing that's going to make this year different than any other year, here's the deal. Let me back up. How many people, because as I'm recording this right now, it's January 1st, 2020. I don't know when you're watching it, but that's when I'm recording it, okay? So how many people woke up this morning and were expecting this, these grandiose thoughts of, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z this year. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be great, da-da-da-da-da, right? And then you woke up and it was like every other morning. It was like any other morning of years past or whatever. It was your life. You woke up to your life as it has already existed. You guys, the beauty in that is that every morning that you wake up is going to be that way. The only difference is going to be you making a choice to do something new that day, something different that you have never done before. Maybe that different thing is going to be you starting a new hobby that you've been thinking of starting, right? Maybe that's it. Maybe the new thing is that you're deciding you're going to save your money different. So you're going to start doing that thing today, right? I feel like a lot of people get lost in the concept of, I'm going to do all of these new things and yada, yada, it's going to be great and bah, right? And then they wake up to the realization, like literally wake up to the realization that nothing is different. Nothing is going to change, you guys, until you actually make a change. And this isn't rocket science. This is not the first time that anybody has said this before, but I hope it's the first time that it makes sense for you. Okay? Because what you can do, you literally can do anything, right? I'm not even kidding you guys. I lived in a basement. Okay? Like, I say it like it's a joke, but it's totally true. It did not feel like a joke at the time. Felt like all jokes were on me at that time, but I lived in a basement. It was post-divorce, so that was traumatic. I fed my dog before I fed myself. I didn't have enough money to feed myself, so I fed my dog. I was an alcoholic. I had everything. Everything had fallen apart. Everything had fallen apart, and even in those moments, even in anybody from the outside looking in could have been like, man, that's rough, right? Like, yikes, right? Even in those moments, I still knew that there was something else. I knew that I was meant for more than that. I didn't know what it was, and I didn't know how I was going to get there. And quite frankly, it felt impossible that I was even going to get out of where I was because I did not have an education. I did not, I was a bartender and I was a waitress. And then I got fired as a bartender for drinking on the job, right? Because I was an alcoholic. An alcoholic bartender does not mix real well, right? So anyway, aside from that, I still saw that there was something else. I still felt like there was something else. So I started making the decisions daily, and it wasn't zero to complete success overnight, but you start taking those steps. You start finding people around you that can support you in what you want to do. And I think that that's very, very important, you guys. The changes that you want to make in your life are fantastic. Now find somebody that can help you on that path, like that they want to also make those changes, right? So it would be like an accountability partner. So if everybody knows that I've found my home with Young Living. I love Young Living. You don't have to be Young Living to be watching this, right? But I have a group called Gold Getters. And in that group, it's thousands of Young Living people, and we're all doing the same thing. So we're keeping each other accountable. So if you don't have anybody else in your life that is keeping you accountable for that one thing, if that's your thing, make sure that you get in there so you can be around people that are going to keep moving you toward your goal. Because you guys, you're going to wake up in the morning, every morning, being exactly who you've always been when you woke up. Okay? It's those decisions that you start to make after you wake up that, and literally and figuratively wake up. It's going to be those decisions that you make right after you wake up. Those, how do you carry yourself through the day? What are you deciding to do? Are you going to take your chance on yourself this year? Are you actually going to do that thing that scares the snot out of you? You guys, I hurtle myself toward fear. Anytime that I feel fear, I run toward it with with wind in my hair, right? Like I completely run toward fear, because fear is where you're going to find your destiny. You're going to, the thing that you are the most afraid of, if you can run toward it with reckless abandon, you guys, you are going to realize you can do anything. Because you see, if you can do what you fear most, you can do anything, right? So that is my challenge for you today. What is the thing that you fear the most? And be serious with yourself. Be real with yourself. What is the thing that you fear the most? Write it down and then start working toward that. Start running toward that thing. I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.